Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today we're going to be doing part 3 of my vinyl collection. So let's get started. So firstly we have some good old Gary Moore, and this is his Wild Frontier album, and here's the inner sleeve as I have the cover on the wall. As I do love Gary Moore. Yes, this features the songs Over the Hill and Far Away, which is a particularly great song. Johnny Boy is good. It's just, yeah, Wild Frontier as well, the title track. Yeah, just a really great, more rock period Gary Moore, but still worth checking out. Okay, a bit of Genesis. So first we have Trespass, and this is one of the earlier Genesis albums. As you can see by the line up here, it doesn't even have Steve Hackett in it yet. Instead we have Anthony Phillips on guitar. And yeah, I mean, it isn't my favourite Genesis album, but it does have The Knife, which is a particularly great song, Dusk. So I mean, it's a really solid Peter Gabriel Genesis album, but not quite as good as, you know, maybe The Lamb or Selling England or Nursery Crime. Okay, Genesis, and then there were 3. So this album was, well, after Peter Gabriel left, hence, and then there were 3, because, well, there were 3 left. So they decided to make an album. This is the gatefold version. And what does it have on it? Well, I can't say this is an album I really listen to much, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of post-Gabriel Genesis. But still, I have a bit more post-Gabriel Genesis. We have Duke. I actually just don't have the cover for this one. It's not my type of Genesis, really. Okay, let's get into the Ian Gillan section. This is Ian Gillan Band's Scarabaeus. I think it is, yeah. So, I think this is his first solo album, could be. It's before he just called himself Gillan, and yeah, you know, it's decent, but his Gillan works definitely better. As we get into some Gillan, this is one of his classic albums, I'd say. Mr. Universe, really dodgy cover, I have to say. I mean, what is with those clothes? But it's a good album. It is a good album, definitely. A bit more Gillan. We have Glory Road. Another cool Gillan album. One of the weirdest covers I own has to be Gillan's Future Shock. So yeah, not only do you have them like this, and it's like, look at this guy. Doesn't he? I tell you, he always reminds me of the lead singer of Siva. Looks so like him. And then we get to the back with these definitely not at all sexualized pictures. I mean, you just have to see the booklet for this. The booklet inside here, yeah, you have some pictures on. Where's the really weird stuff? Oh, it might not be this one. Let's see. Oh yeah. I mean, right. Odd album. Not one of my faves of his. This is a good one. Again, definitely not at all suggestive cover. Double Trouble, Gillan again. And this, as you can probably guess, is a double album, unsurprisingly. And it's a live album, a double live, basically. So yeah, it's good, you know. Solid double live album, yeah. Probably my favourite Gillan album, I'd say, is Magic. I really like this album. Yeah, it's definitely a strong album. Okay, so we move past the Gillan. Let's get to the completely and utterly obscure that most likely no one's ever heard of the band. Greystar, and their first album, or no, it could be I think this is the second album, called Greystar, and this was a collaboration between Ruby Starr and Mike Gray, neither of which I know who the hell they are. So you might wonder how I have this. Well, when I was digging through some of my mum's vinyls, because she's not into vinyls, hasn't been for a long time, she had this. This was actually completely sealed, and the other Greystar, which she said she was given them as gifts from someone and literally never listened to them. And yeah, this is the only LP I've actually ever unsealed, which is kind of cool. So absolute mint condition. I haven't actually got around to playing it. I played the other one, Telephone Sex, but yeah, they're actually quite rare. This one's worth, I think, about 50 quid. Yeah, they're sort of light AOR. Definitely light AOR. Yeah. They were only released in like one state in the US. Oh, this is an underrated band, Gun, and the album Taking on the World. Definitely my favourite Gun album. And I think they're a hugely underrated rock band, really are. Better Days is a great song, Something to Believe in, Taking on the World. I think this is a really solid album. Solid late 80s rock. And here we have, I only showed this recently, so I won't dwell too long, Heart Bibber Lestrange, which is cool. It's a French pressing. Something again showed not too long ago, Jan Ackerman's Tabernacle, which has Jan Ackerman, that guy from Focus, you may know him from, Hocus Pocus. He's cool dude. Wish he was still with Focus. Oh, and this is an underrated album, I always think. Jim Steinman's Bad for Good, I think that's what it's called. Oh god, yeah. Bad for Good. And, yeah, I mean, obviously this features the classic Meatloaf song, Bad for Good. I mean, quite a few of these would be recorded for Meatloaf songs. Out of the Frying Pan into the Fire, Bad for Good. They definitely both feature on Bat Out of Hell 2. And yeah, this was in between Bat Out of Hell 1 and 2. And yeah, it's a good album. He's actually got a decent voice. Not, let's not compare him to Meat, but he has a good voice. John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Double Fantasy. This is very much sort of a classic album. More, I think, because of the, obviously the things surrounding it. This was John Lennon's last album, and he died, I think it was just before it was released, or just after. I think just before, a couple of days after, no, before even he was released. He was obviously assassinated. I can't say I actually think it's that great a album. Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy is decent, but I don't know. It's not my favourite Lennon album. Okay, and let's have a bit of Priest. I wish I had the cover for this, but I do have a poster with it. This is Screaming for Vengeance, the only Priest album I have on vinyl. I mean, this has it has Electric Eye, Screaming for Vengeance, of course. You've got Another Thing Coming. It's a really, really strong album. Definitely one of the best. I think this has Kiss Killers. This is a compilation. This has Love Gun and Detroit Rock City, I Was Made for Loving You, Rock and Roll Night, the live version. This is the only Kiss album I have. I really don't like Kiss. I like Rock and Roll Night, I like Love Gun, I like Detroit Rock City. I suppose I like It Was Made for Loving You, but except for that, I really don't like any other Kiss songs, just overall. I probably consider them the most overrated rock band of all time, in my opinion. I just don't think they're that great. Don't think Gene Simmons is a great singer. Don't think Ace Frehley's that great guitarist. And I don't think they're the best songwriters. Really, not a Kiss fan. Not at all. And lastly, we have... Oh no, we don't. No, that was it. Oh well. Okay, this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.